And I will tell you that is something that I learned while I was recently just looking for this job, because the first place where I had 2 interviews at, oh, and thank God I didn't get that job. I did not like that second interview at all. But when they asked me how much I was looking to make, I told them $110,000, and that was it. And they was like, "Oh yeah, that's within
Oh,
our
we
range."
can do that.
Like,
So
as soon as they said that,
you like, oh
I
shit.
said that was way too freaking low.
Shot myself in the foot.
Shot myself straight in the big toe.
You like, but I learned. Won't do that again.
Learned that you only got one time to teach me a lesson. Because in the next one, gave them a range, and 110 was the low. All right, so I do and I don't have a weekly Reddit for today, or a question of the week.
What you got then?
But I did see a question on Reddit that said, how do you find a job, or something like that? No, how do I get a job? And I was like, right? I was like, is it
real? Is this a real?
Yeah, it was. And the guy was on there talking about how he or she, I don't know, talking about how they applied to 13 jobs and haven't heard back yet.
Wow, what a big number.
Right? But yet you want to know how to find a job. And so I was like, it reminded me of when I had posted on Reddit asking a question, and I asked people, why are you choosing not to leave a job you don't like?
Yeah.
And one of the guys responded back and was like, because the job market sucks, and said something about people asking stupid questions on Reddit. And I was just like, whatever. And I was just like, it made me think, I am kind of over people blaming the job market for them not being able to find a job.
That's not the problem.
Most cases it's not the problem. I'm not going to say it's not the problem for everybody. Some people maybe it is, but
it depends. Like, do you live in a small town? Are you trying to stay within your small town? It'll be a lot harder then.
Yeah, it would be a lot harder. But I figured we could just talk about, how do people find jobs? As somebody that recently just found another job, and a person that has had at least 3 or 4 this year.
I don't even count.
I don't know how many. I just know it was more than 2.
I don't even know. I'm trying to tell you. I honestly don't know. Once I don't work there no more, I don't remember you.
That's how we should treat everything. Breakups, everything. But
let go and let God.
I figure we could give pointers on what is our recommendations that could help people find jobs.
Well, for one, you have to have multiple resumes for the different things you're applying to. You cannot have one standalone resume. It won't work. It won't work.
And
people don't like that. They see that and they go, ew, this is a customer service resume. This isn't even what this position is about.
Now, I could see having one resume, because like I didn't have another resume until I started, gained some experience that was outside of the one job I had, and 2, was looking for a job that wasn't one that I had already had. You know what I mean? So like in 2014, when I first stopped working in pharmacy, that's all I had.
Well, you didn't have a choice, and that's all you got.
But when I left Evelyn,
you had different stuff.
I'm like, I no longer have worked as a pharmacy tech. I've worked as a pharmacy tech. I've worked as a coordinator for that company. And then when I left, I was a supervisor. So I had 3 different resumes. Actually, I had 4 different resumes. One for pharmacy, one for another care coordinator position, one for a management position. And then I had one for accounting, because I had just graduated with my degree in accounting. And I do think that is one of the areas where a lot of people go wrong. You need to have multiple resumes. Even if, like, and the other thing is, like, college students not putting the work that they are doing in college
On their,
on
you
their
better put that
resume.
on their resume.
Put it on your resume.
If you had a class and then you passed it, baby, that's a skill now.
It is a
Put that right
skill.
on your resume.
It should be on your resume. Why is it not?
You wrote your paper, you passed your test. You know.
I mean, because a lot of that stuff. Now, I will say this: the only time I don't agree with that is as somebody that has had to review resumes and stuff. At the last company I worked for, there were people that was like they would put that they know SQL on their resume.
No, that's not the same.
And I'm like,
taking one beginner level class is not something that you can then turn around and put on, because a job is expecting you to be able to do that independently, which is a skill you do not have from taking one intro class.
It wasn't even that. It was, oh, we learned SQL to do one project during a class.
Hell
It's just
no.
like,
That's lies. That is lies. That is lies. You halfway did SQL for one project. Like, AKA, you simply know what it is. You cannot put it on a resume.
Exactly.
No.
I was like, so
I thought they at least did a beginner class and then threw it on there.
And they do that with like machine learning. They do that with Python, which, machine learning, but
don't do that.
And
that's lies.
I'm like, but that's not what we mean about when we say we would prefer to have somebody that has these skills. So you're familiar with it, yes.
You know what it, like I say, you know what it is. That is not the same as being able to do a job.
And sometimes that's okay, because like when I got the job for the company that I recently left, they told me in the interview, like, hey, we'd love to have somebody that knows SQL. And they asked me if I knew it. I told them, I said, I know what it is, but I've never actually worked in it. I got the job anyway.
Yeah, because you didn't lie and say you knew it though.
That's what I'm saying. If you are not that familiar, that's the other thing. Stop lying in your interviews. So many people lie in their interviews.
And that's how you get fired.
The craziest thing is 99% of the time, it is obvious that you're lying. And if you only worked on SQL for like part of a course, even if it was just one course, make sure you tell them that, because
don't even put on your resume. Just don't put it there.
Or you could put it on your resume, but tell them that you're familiar with it, but you're not that experienced with it, because I can guarantee you this. If they are asking you if you know SQL in that,
they expect you to be able to do it
in that interview, and you say you do, they are going to ask you a follow-up question about it. And if you can't answer that, mine is always when they tell me that they know SQL, Python, machine learning, all that data stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime they tell me that, I always ask them, so tell me about a project that you did when you worked on it.
No answer.
They can only tell me what the actual project was. They can't tell me the structure of the code or query, because some people are like police on this. SQL is not coding, it is querying.
Potato.
I'm like, okay. But yeah, like, don't sit there and lie to these people, because most of the time they can read right through it.
But it's just setting yourself up, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Don't lie.
What I would recommend people do is, and I'm just so surprised that some people don't do this. And I know I probably sound like a broken record, because I just listened back to the episode that's coming out next week, and I apparently said it in that episode. People should be using ChatGPT
for what it's supposed to be used for.
to update their resumes, but not even just that. ChatGPT can give you questions to ask. ChatGPT can give you damn good mock questions that they're likely going to ask you. The other thing that people need to be doing is they need to be taking the link for those job descriptions, putting them in ChatGPT with their resume, and saying, hey, give me an analysis on this. Tell me if I'm actually qualified for this, or how do I update my resume to make me look more appealing to these people.
Y'all better telling chat all y'all personal business and use it as a therapist. You're not using it how it needs to be used.
Or how it was intended to be used.
It was supposed to be used to be informational. Just nice, some information, some facts, some help. Not to be your therapist.
Not to help you through your mama trauma.
That's not what it's for.
But that's just my hot take. I know a
Chat
lot
is
of
for
people
black and white.
I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and I know that therapy is expensive, but ChatGPT is not where it's at for therapy.
It's a machine.
It's a hill I will die on. Sorry if you disagree.
It's a machine.
Literally. But yes, ChatGPT should be used for updating your resume, doing analysis, comparing your resume to the job description, and updating your resume to make you look more appealing. It should be used after you get that interview to say, okay, here's the job description. Here's what the HR rep said when they did my phone screening. Here's where my skills are.
Work some magic, chat.
Yeah. What are they likely to ask me in this interview so that I can be prepared and have something to say?
Have an intelligent answer when they ask me.
Yes. But at the same time, don't take what ChatGPT gives you and then go into these interviews and sound like a robot.
Well,
Somebody
duh.
literally did that.
Verbatim?
Literally. Now, I wasn't on the interview with this person, but but two people that I worked with was, and both of them separately gave me the exact same feedback. They was like, I could tell that this guy was literally just reading ChatGPT responses back to us.
That's awkward.
They were like, it was the most awkward interview they'd ever given. They couldn't wait for it to be over.
They know that chat is a robot that sounds like a robot. You're supposed to summarize what it told you and then also add something from yourself to said answer. Otherwise, that's plagiarism. Because, baby, I used to help me with school. I'm not going to lie. Chat, break down this for me. I don't understand this the way I should. Break this down for me. Or I'll send it my papers and be like, and then I'll send it the rubric. Based off this rubric, are there any points missing from this paper? Oh, I do it. Oh, I do it. I'm not cheating, but I'm like, make sure I'm like, do I have everything I need to say in this paper so they don't send it back saying I didn't meet up,
I don't see anything wrong with that. What I do see something wrong with is having ChatGPT write your papers for you. That's cheating.
It's obvious that it does it, though.
Right. But asking it to say, hey, here's the rubric, here's what I wrote, make sure all
They
the points
line up.
are, yeah. Or taking it like I'll use it for my new job because I've learned Microsoft SQL. Now I'm learning Oracle SQL.
Yeah.
So Oracle SQL will have some functions in it that I'm just like, what the
is
hell?
this?
So I will type it into Chat GPT and say, what is this in Golden 7 Oracle SQL? And it will explain it to me.
You like, oh, okay.
Great. I've actually today I used Chat GPT to come up with my macros for meal prep. Help me come up with the meal prep that will help me hit these macros. Great.
People aren't using it correctly. I also use it to help me with perfume.
Yeah.
So I go, what this is the scents I like. Tell me about some fragrances. Or what can I pair with it? Oh, I love it for that. Oh, I love it for that. It's useful. Just not in the way people use it.
The thing that I thought people would just default to using Chat GPT for was looking for another job. I mean, Chat GPT is free.
Free. Just make a login. You can ask it whatever you want, and no matter how much. It's learning from you. It's a give and take relationship.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are paid versions where you get to put more pictures on it for it to analyze and blah, blah, blah.
I ain't doing that.
I mean, that's what I do, but I do it for the podcast because I use Chat GPT every day, all day when I'm researching for the podcast.
I just use it for school.
But use it to update your resumes. Use it to actually create a resume that these recruiters want to see, because here's the thing.
Recruiters are robots now anyway.
That's what I was going to say. Like, even if they're not robots, I can guarantee you this: recruiters are using AI to find your resume.
It goes through the system first, and then people see it after it funnels through the system.
Yep. And then the other thing is, I don't know about every job, but every job I've applied for, it has a candidate profile. When you put your resume on there, you can put like the skills that you have.
Yeah, you can.
Fill that out. Those, I mean, it's no different than like when I post stuff for the podcast. It's no different than when I create the descriptions or when I have ChatGPT create the descriptions. It needs to have SEO in it, which is search engine optimization. It is the things that our audience is looking for to watch. That if they look for this or they have seen content in the past that relates to the words that I'm putting in this description, it is going to show it to them. Recruiters have the same stuff. They're looking for keywords that should be in your resume
for that job,
so that you look more attractive for that job. I really don't think it's that difficult to find a job.
But also don't mass apply to just random stuff. Actually be interested in what you're applying. I'm not saying only apply to one a day. That's foolish. But
you need to be applying. If you are applying to what did he say, 19, 13 jobs. Now I don't know over how long that was.
I'm sure it was a long time. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was.
My impression was it wasn't just that day. That is passively looking for a job. You're
That's
not
just
aggressively
skimming. You just skimming.
That was like when I first started considering leaving my last
You just want to see what's out there. That's what that is.
Just put in a couple applications here and there. Like that's what that is. It was when I decided to aggressively start looking for a job. I was applying to at minimum 13 jobs a day.
Baby, I was doing 30. But
I had alerts coming to me every day from LinkedIn. I had alerts coming from Indeed. Tell me what jobs is out there. The other thing I would say is because the guy that was talking about how, it's the job market. Apparently he's in IT, which I will say
it's competitive.
IT is having some issues right now.
It is competitive.
However, it is not impossible to find another job. My company alone has 79 jobs on their website that they're looking to fill. And I can guarantee you at least 40% of them are IT related. They are data related jobs. They are developer related jobs. They are still looking for IT folks.
But there are people who are still sleeping on remote jobs. And that's a whole...
Now, that's the other thing.
Like, you gotta...
I will say, I can also understand it for people, and I've said this before, and I do stand by it. It is harder to find a job that isn't an in-person job because you are competing with the entire
not just the
nation.
People in your area.
Yeah, you're not just competing with the people that are in proximity to you. So yes, those jobs are harder to find.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. I'm living proof of that. But it is harder. That's where things like using ChatGPT to make sure that you look as appealing to them as possible comes in. But yeah, when I was looking for a job and I was applying to all these places, they were all, well, some of them were hybrid, some of them were remote, fully remote. I was just like, I'm competing with all these damn people.
But the thing is, you don't know though. You don't.
Yes and no, but you don't know. But the other thing I wanted to say is people shouldn't also be looking for things they shouldn't only be looking for one thing, because if that was the case, I would have been looking for only accounting jobs. Find something that is adjacent.
Yeah, that's what I said. You don't apply to just anything. Don't be applying to be no damn pastor. Like, don't do it.
I mean,
you get what I'm saying? Like, don't just be applying willy-nilly to random things that you know nothing about. If they was to call you, you wouldn't even be able to know anything about the damn job. Don't be just applying willy-nilly to just any damn thing. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
See, I don't particularly agree with that. I think if you're interested in a job, whether you know something about it or not, apply to it. What do you have to lose?
No.
But don't apply to it thinking that, oh yeah, if I get this job, I'm just going to go in there and it's going to be a breeze.
That's what I'm saying. Don't
Only
be
apply to
acting
it.
willy-nilly.
Only apply to it if you know you're gonna put in the work to get yourself up to par.
That's what I mean.
But
Just
other than
applying
that,
to some random shit that has nothing to do with nothing. You don't care about it. You don't know about it. You just see that they're hiring, so you apply. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now with
yeah,
Jocelyn, if you're willing to put the work in to learn a new skill, yes. But if you don't want to do that,
because it
don't do
does
that.
happen. Sometimes you get lucky and somebody just wants to take the chance on you and hire you for something that you've never done
Yeah.
before. Um, Although I do get what people say sometimes about how it's stuff that they've never done before. They're applying to it, but they want people with experience, but you can't get the experience without getting the job.
It's a circle of
Yeah, it's a
foolishness.
catch-22.
Yeah.
That's what I ran into when I used to apply to inpatient pharmacies all the time.
Yeah.
Inpatient pharmacies used to be
They pick
so
game.
hard to get into. And at that point I had like 7+ years
So you
experience as a
thought,
pharmacy tech. So but it was all retail. So I would apply to these inpatient pharmacies and do you know how many times I applied to community before I actually got an interview?
which is weird because I had no experience. I just applied and they called me.
Yeah, I applied to community the year that I moved to Indiana in 2010.
Well, there's only so many hospitals in this piece.
And I applied to Community East. They were like, no. And then I applied when I left IU Health. No.
Yeah.
I applied when I left Evelyn, when I wanted to leave Evelyn. No.
You like, what the?
And I knew somebody that was working not in the pharmacy, but I knew somebody that was working in the hospital. Each time, no, 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 no. And then in 2021, that's when I saw that they had a PRN position. I was like, well, I'll give it a go. And then that's when no, so I was like, I'll give it a go. They called me for Community North, had the phone interview. They sent me on to um the hiring manager.
Yeah.
And actually it was the Heart and Vascular Hospital. They sent me to the hiring manager. The hiring manager was emailing me and she was asking me about my hours. And I said, well, I'm available to work in the evening because I do have a regular 9 to 5. But I was like, I can work like 4 hours each day during the week, and I can work a full 8 hour shift each day during the weekend. And she was like, well, let me check to see if the hiring manager would be okay because it was actually the supervisor, the tech supervisor. She never messaged me back.
Mm.
I think she might have forgot that she did that because I did end up working with her at Heart when I would pick up
Yeah.
hours there, and I'm just like,
You
girl,
forgot half of.
she ain't forget. She just don't. I don't think she did it. She doesn't seem like that great of a person.
Mm.
But anyway, uh, I had also applied to Community East and Community South. Both of them called me back for interviews, and I had the interview with Community South first. Then I had the interview with Community East. There's a couple reasons why I chose Community East. One, it's closer to my house, and two, they didn't require a second interview. That was the only reason. I chose not to go to South because they wanted me to do a second interview.
I don't understand 2 interviews for a job where you're not leadership. Why am I doing 2 interviews? This is an entry-level PRN job. If you don't get out of my face,
right,
2 interviews.
But I will say, in people's defense of the job market, it is more difficult to find a job, especially once you start getting into those jobs where you have to have a degree for it.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible. And I
You
feel
gotta put the
like,
work in. You
yeah,
gotta be willing
I
to
feel
put
like
the
a lot of
work
people
in.
just don't want to put the work in to find these
Because
jobs, to
looking for
get
a
these
job
jobs.
is a job within itself. It
Because
is.
even
It is.
the guy that was talking about how he submitted 19 applications, somebody commented on his Reddit and was talking about how, like, you know, you could do this, you could do that, whatever, whatever. And all the guy was coming back with was excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they too far away from my house. Oh, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. Then you don't want a job.
Why you got a long list of things you don't want to do when I know your skill set is shorter than your list of what you do not want to do? So
I just
again,
I hate to say it, but a lot of people like to place the blame on other things so that they don't have to hold themselves accountable for stuff. If you are struggling to Find a job. Like you said last week, if you apply to 300 jobs and not a single one has reached out to
Baby, the
you,
problem is you.
the,
I'm
the
sorry.
problem ain't the market. It's probably you.
What's on your resume? What
I
is
mean, I
on
could
it?
see if you was doing something super niche, like you want to be in the Cirque du Soleil or something like that. Yeah. How often do they leave?
They don't. Much
Exactly.
harder to get in
Much
there.
harder to get. But if you are just looking for a regular job,
regular, degular,
you ain't doing something right. You ain't looking somewhere. You need to be looking under every rock for that job.
I think it's the resume at that point. After 300, your
It has
resume
to
is
be your
definitely
resume
the problem.
because I could see it being the job market if you was actually getting at least some phone screenings.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
You can't even get them to be like,
to just ask you some questions.
because the phone screen is literally just, all right,
Are you still interested? Basically, are you still
interested in this job? What kind of pay you looking for? And that's when the market comes in. Because if you looking for a certain pay and the market can't accommodate that, they're gonna be like, nope.
And your pay has to make sense with your resume, not just whatever money you want. It has to make sense with your resume. Because it sounds harsh, but a lot of people overvalue themselves and they think that they're worth more money than they are.
Here's the thing.
And I'm not saying go low, but you can't ask for 100K and you work at Taco Bell. Like, no one's giving you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no one's doing
asking
that.
for 100K with 80,000 skill set. But
not even 80,000. They be having 60, 50,000 skill set and think that they should get 100K just because they want it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, no.
People do need to humble themselves a little bit. But what I would say is when you are looking for another job or a job in general, especially if they give you the pay range that they willing to pay people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them a dollar amount.
That's outside of what they listed, please.
I wasn't even gonna say that. Don't give them a dollar amount. Give them a range.
Well, yeah, you don't say, yeah, I want exactly $50,000. No,
because you know what's gonna happen.
You'll get exactly $50,000, and you could have got 60 had you shut up and gave a range. It's your own fault.
And I will tell you that is something that I learned while I was recently just looking for this job, because the first place where I had 2 interviews at, oh, and thank God I didn't get that job. I did not like that second interview at all. But when they asked me how much I was looking to make, I told them $110,000. And that was it. And they was like, "Oh yeah, that's within
Oh,
our
we
range."
can do that.
Like,
so
as soon as they said that,
you like, oh
I
shit.
said that was way too freaking low.
Shot myself in the foot.
Shot myself straight in the big toe.
You like, but I learned. Won't do that again.
Learned that you only got one time to teach me a lesson. Because in the next one, gave them a range, and 110 was the low.
Yeah.
110 was the bottom of that range. And now when you give a range, what happens when they give you that offer letter? You get more than what you thought you was gonna get.
You like, me? Oh, me?
I was fully prepared to negotiate that dang on job until they gave me what I wanted.
You like, that's more than what I thought.
Yeah.
More than what I would ask for.
I had an idea of where I would end up, and I was going to try to negotiate it up to what I really wanted. And they gave me what I wanted. So I was like,
ain't nothing to do but accept.
Hey,
thank you.
Please and thank you.
But I think it also is timing. Like, also I don't apply to jobs that been up there for like 5 days and crazy stuff. They've already called who they want to call. They've gathered what they want to gather. Sometimes you get lucky. It's a second go around, and the first round didn't go that well. But for the most part, I don't apply to older jobs. I don't.
Well, are you talking about older jobs or jobs within 5 days?
Like stuff that been up there for like 2 weeks and stuff. Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, because
now
if it's been posted for 5 days,
there's still a chance. But
I'll apply to those. The ones that I'll apply to the ones that's been posted longer, but I'm skeptical of those. I'm going to really be asking some tough questions in there, because why has this job been posted for more than 60 days and you're still looking for a candidate?
Yeah, that's weird. That's suspicious. Sometimes they just don't take it down, I feel.
Yeah, the one that I got is still posted.
And you already in it.
I asked my manager, I said, "Are we looking for another manager?" She
Oh
said,
no,
"Not
we
for
just
our
ain't took it
team."
down.
So I was like, "Well, this
HR gonna
says
take
that
that down?
you are looking for a." And I was like, "You know what? I'm already here, so
I just
I
like,
ain't
look,
leaving."
I'll do the same thing. Like, I'm just clarifying. Like,
Yeah, I just want.
is there another person?
I was like, "Cause I might know some people that want it. If
No,
you
they just
looking
ain't
for
took it
another
down.
one."
But this is why I don't apply to older jobs. Like, they just ain't took it down.
Yeah, so and I don't even come. It's fine if they just ain't taking it down as the person looking for the job. But what I don't want, what that tells me is either that manager is difficult or the work is difficult.
And people don't like it.
Because why has this position been posted for 2 months?
That's odd.
You
That'd be a red
cannot
flag to
convince
me.
me
That's a
that you
red
ain't
flag.
found a good enough
In
candidate
2
to get.
whole months. In today's world of online applications where a gazillion people have applied to that job.
And I applied one of the PBMs, one of the big ones that I applied to had positions that was on there for like a month plus.
Nah.
Red flag,
red flag, red flag, red flag.
Something's going on.
Something's amiss.
It is. Something is afoot.
Don't apply to that.
And they wasn't gonna get me.
And
it's actually the one that I had the second interview with. It wasn't for one of the positions that had been posted for like more than 30 days, but I'd already had, weird vibes from the first interview. And I think I had told you about this because I was like, I don't even want the job, but I'll go on the interview just to, maybe they'll say something in the second interview that'll make me change my
wouldn't.
mind.
I'm like, I don't want to go.
I did that second interview and I was just
even
like,
worse. You like, this is even worse than the first
worse.
one.
I was like, how could y'all have gotten even worse than the first interview?
But that's why they hiring now, you know.
So I was like, yep, nope, don't want that job. And then the next day I got the thing saying that they had chose to go with other candidates.
You
I said,
good.
Good. Now I will say, people need to be honest with themselves when they're looking for another job too, because that was something I had to humble myself. Cause I thought that it was gonna be easy breezy, lemon effing squeezy when I started looking for another job.
It ain't.
And don't get me wrong, I do think I found a job fairly quickly.
It wasn't easy breezy lemon squeezy though. It wasn't easy breezy lemon squeezy.
And because, like I said, I found one quick because I wasn't able to use up my PTO at the last company like I was trying to do. And everybody was coming for me. Make sure you use all that PTO. And I'm like, look, I'm trying, but I found the job before I could use
even
it all.
use it.
But anyway, I think I don't know. I just think people need to be more honest with themselves. It is a different time, especially if you've been in a job for like a long time. I had been in that job for 7.5 years, had not been on an interview since 2017.
Market's different.
Market is completely different. And I can guarantee you that there's 2 really big PBM companies that I was applying to a crap ton of jobs for. They had like 300 plus positions posted.
You like, and I'm applying to 30.
I applied to, I'm sure whatever recruiter was assigned to those
knew your
teams,
name.
they knew my name. Even the one that I got when the recruiter called me to talk to me about the position that I actually got, she was like, yeah, I see you applied to like 10 positions today. I was like, I've been stalking y'all website. Give me a job. I'm like, if that don't show my dedication, because there was some points with all 3 of those companies, because those were the main 3 that I was applying for, because they had positions posted like every day. And y'all, the positions that I'm applying for are data related positions. If you are IT, you can get a data related. Yeah, you can pivot into that. Who said you had to make your whole career of that? But use that to get yourself in the door. But yeah, I applied to well over 300 jobs. With one of them, I know I applied to at least 100. And do you know how humbling it is to get reject after reject after reject?
You know, I know. I'm always looking for a job.
And I was like, I was always that person that was like, oh, when I look for another job, I could find a job real easily. There's never been an interview that I went on that I didn't get the job, and that was true.
You got to get the interview though. That's the hard. The
It is
hard part
hard to
is
get
getting the interview.
But that's when I smarted up, because at first I wasn't using ChatGPT, and I said, you know what? I'm paying for ChatGPT.
Let's use it.
I'm gonna say, here's this job description. How do I make this look more appealing? So then that's when I came up with my project management resume. I came up with my process improvement resume. I came up with my just regular old general management resume. Like, so many different resumes. And I had so many versions that at some point it was getting kind of hard to.
Yeah. I'm not saying have 12 versions. That's doing too much. That's doing too much.
But
have like 5, but I don't know about no 12.
The reason it became hard to keep track of was because I also didn't title these resumes like Jocelyn Alexander project management, because I also don't want them to know that I'm creating 7 different versions of my resume.
No, I have like, it'll be like Jade 13, Jade 14,
which is another way that they know she got different versions of her resume.
It's just that's how I keep up with the jobs, because it's different for the job. It's really for the job. It's job specific. That's
but
why
I didn't want to have to keep updating it, since I knew I was every day applying for different types of jobs.
See, my system was I applied for the same type of job that day, so I wouldn't confuse my resumes. So I'm like, okay, today is the day I apply for these type with this resume, so that I won't get confused, because this is the only one I'm using today. And then tomorrow, if I do that one, it's still a system.
Nah, you don't understand that ADHD. You hyper focus in on that site, and it's like, I see 13 positions that I want to apply to. I got to do it now, because if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it.
See, my brain don't work that way.
I think it's actually a part of the ADHD, because you hyper focus on it. And there would be some days I would go into work, and I would be sitting at that computer. All I could think about was, I need to make sure I do this. I need to make sure I apply for these jobs, because I know if I don't, it's not going to happen. So
that's like a stressful way. I don't do all that.
It is stressful. Having an ADHD brain is actually stressful. And I don't think people actually realize how stressful it is to have an ADHD brain, because you, to an extent, can't control that. Your brain is just automatically doing it. That's why when you come to me and I'll show you a list that I made or something on my phone, that's my ADHD got the best of me. And I'm like, I have to do this. I have to actually do this.
See, you know I'm the opposite. I'm free as a bird in the wind. I'm vibe. I live off of vibes. So, I'm gonna apply to a job. And I just
see, that's how I am when I'm not aggressively looking for a job. But when I'm aggressively looking for a job, it's like, oh, so I want to apply to this many jobs every day. For this amount of time, I want to have a job by this day, because I gave myself a deadline. By the time we went to Atlanta, I wanted to have another job. And what happened? The week after I started, no, 2 weeks after we got back, I started at the new job. So, but yeah, I attacked those websites.
I did too, but not in a less stressful way. A less stressful way.
I wish I wasn't this way.
I still apply to a shit ton. I have to, because I find them so fast. Hey, found so fast, girl, because I applied 502 weeks. But hey, it is what
like I said, it is. I understand why people say that, yes, it is hard to find a job, but that doesn't make you powerless. You can find a job. And I also don't like the narrative that people say, oh, if you don't know anybody at the company, there's no way you gonna find a job.
That is not true. You can get in. True. You don't gotta know. You just have to, if you are good, you have a good resume, you have good interview skills, you don't need to know a damn soul. Yeah, you don't need to. You will be the person people know at the job, because
that just means your resume, or if you already had the interview, your interview wasn't enough to make them want you over somebody that was a recommendation.
And that happens.
It does.
Sometimes the recommendation is a good recommendation. It is what it is. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes, I mean, like I said, sometimes you just got to hold yourself accountable. No one wants to hear that that you might not be as great as you think you are. But I mean, but sometimes
Humble
you're just not
yourself.
as great as you think you
Because at the
are.
end of the
I mean, like I said,
day,
I had to come to that realization when I was started looking for another job. It was humbling.
but life is gonna humble you till you catch a clue in the grip. And that's just no, it's true. Like
I
life
know, but
gonna
it's
keep
just
humbling you until you catch on. Until you learn something. You gonna keep getting humbled. Every time I get humbled, I go,
now you
okay, Jay, what character growth did you need? Because baby, that was rough.
character development.
That was rough. What did you need? Because that was rough.
And I'm
Like, that was rough.
and sorry, not sorry. I know not a lot of people like religion or whatever, but any job whenever I start looking for another job, I pray on that. I pray for God to send me the job that I am supposed to be in. And if he doesn't send me one, I take that as a sign that I'm supposed to stay where I am.
You know, I don't do that. God knows I'm not doing that.
See, I do.
But like I said, Jesus, take the bills. Jay, got the well, I'm gone. So
I've done that with every job since 2014.
But I only recently became reckless. Well, that's because I started being a shacker. And that's when it was just me, baby, I was not like that at all. I was not like that at all, baby. When I tell you the job had to be lined up, I took my time, you know.
I wish I knew you then, because I ain't gonna lie to you, Jay. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, Monet thinks it's funny. But like, I used to be very
I'm not
calculating.
saying you lying, but my logic brain saying her actions does not support that.
It's because I became a shacker, and I was like, you know what? But when it was just me, I wasn't like that at all. Oh, I stayed at all my jobs for years, and all of them, years going through crazy shit, years. And then I slowly took my time, found something new, said, okay, I think I'll go on this new endeavor, and then gone over there, and then stay there for years. But then I became a shacker.
The other thing is, people need to stop leaving jobs before they got another one lined up.
Again, this is my
I know,
shacker
because
tendencies.
you the one made me think of that.
My shacker tendencies. Now, when I lived alone, when I tell you I had it timed out from when I would receive my check from my last check, I had it all timed out accurately. So I never even missed a damn check.
Yeah.
I didn't miss a check. I had it all lined up.
I will say, if you are in a position where you can F around on these jobs and not care about it, do you, boo-boo.
I'm sorry.
Waste your time in theirs. But
I got a taste of freedom and I ain't let go.
right.
But it just,
But if you are like, I don't understand how people do that know they got real responsibilities out
and
here
real
and
bills and no money.
they ain't got no spouse that can cover for them while they looking for another job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, but you quit your job.
I would have never. For one, I don't like being poor. And two, like I don't.
I don't think anybody likes it.
Not having money is so stressful.
It is.
Like it is, for one, it's expensive being poor, and it's so stressful. I'm like, the thought of knowing you have bills and $27 is too much.
I saw something online. I'm happy you said that. I saw something online that said money is hours of your life.
It is. And I said that that's how I'm like, if I wouldn't, like, I tell people, they're like, ooh, for purchases, I break it down to hours. I do. I go, this how many hours I would have had to work to buy this item. Would I work for this many hours if I got nothing but this item? And if the answer is no, I do not purchase said item.
Well, I think a lot of people think that way, but people need to also start thinking that way when it comes to these jobs.
Well, yeah, you give a large portion of your life to them.
More time at work
than
you
at
do
home
with your family.
Yeah, you do.
Take your pay if you're not if you're not hourly, but your salary, figure out what your hourly rate is and say, is my life actually worth this?
And if it ain't,
if it's not, you need a pay increase. Or let's not go there, because there are people that think they need a pay increase and they don't
need shit. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
But what you should do is figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get to that level? Because
But the thing is, it's never a secret. You know exactly what you need to do. Just do you wanna? Because
See,
you
that's the
know
thing.
exactly what you need to do to get a pay raise. And you know it ain't kissing nobody ass. You
I
know
mean,
what the fuck
sometimes it
it is.
works.
It works to get you in the door, don't keep you there.
I mean, it's keeping somebody there. We know somebody that is keeping them there.
That's because that chapstick stay in their pocket. And they ass kissing all the time. And after a while, you get sick of doing it.
You would think.
I can't imagine
I
doing
can't
that
kiss
for
nobody
years.
ass. I'm
I
sorry.
can't imagine just
Cause my face say what I'm thinking well before my mouth will.
my mouth say it, and this be my problem. My face and my mouth be moving. And sometimes I say shit and it's too late. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't want that to come out.
Yeah,
And
you
it
know
just,
I had that experience.
you know, we have that word vomit that we have.
Mhm.
And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, oh shit. Well, came back down now and I already said it.
It
So
was done is done.
what's out is out.
But yeah,
Yeah.
people should think about your pay in terms of your life. You are giving up. Actually, I would say this. People need to look at themselves as businesses because I am a business. I am selling my time
Mhm.
to you for
Money.
money.
Mhm.
So the more experience I get, the more skills I develop, that price goes up. Like, I'm sorry.
As
I
it
don't give a
should.
damn about cost of living. I don't give a damn about none of that. I have developed more skills
That require more money.
that unfortunately for you requires more money.
Well, not really. I'm like, because you're benefiting from my skills. So I'm gonna be needing.
Which is why I said I don't give a damn about that cost of living. You should be giving me that anyway. That ain't to cover my growth, the skills that I've fine-tuned or developed. So no. So yeah, people should start thinking about themselves more as businesses as opposed to, oh yeah, this is just what I want. And that's that thing that's like they only see what's right in front of them. They see that number and they're just like, oh yeah, that's fine. I actually had to tell somebody, always negotiate your pay.
Don't ever, if they say, hey, this position is this much, don't ever just go, okay, unless it's like really good.
Now be realistic too though. Don't have somebody offering you $80,000 and you like, nah, I want to negotiate to 130. What?
That's how you get terminated. They let you go.
That's when they say never mind.
They let you go.
And they go with they go with plan B.
Who wanted 95, which was a reasonable amount to ask, you fool.
But you have people that do that though. And I'm like, wait. So
don't make it too much over, because then it's like, to me, if y'all are that off, you had what happened? You seen the range when you applied, and if you feel like that range was too low, you should have never. If the top of their range is still lower than what you are looking for, don't even apply to it.
Yeah, and now it's one thing if you don't know what their range is,
because a lot of them are secretive.
But if you do know what their range is, first of all, if the job allows for remote work, like fully remote work, that range better be on that job description because a lot of states now require by law that jobs disclose that.
And I think they all should. I think every single job should have their pay range in the description. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time.
I 100% agree with you. But there are jobs like California, for instance, it requires that they disclose the pay range. So if I'm in Indianapolis, business, and I'm looking for a remote worker, that means that I can get applicants from
So
California.
I should put the
That
pay.
means by law, in order to even look at them, I need to put my range on there.
I
And
just
I know
don't
we're
know
gonna
why
get
it's
to
a
HR reps.
secret.
It's like that's not true. That's what I was told by HR reps from the last company that I worked for. So fight
My
them.
thing is, why is it a secret? Like, why should you keep it a secret how much you're willing to pay? Because y'all have a
But
pay
let me ask you
range.
this then.
They have a pay range.
Let me ask you this then. If you think this is shady or not.
It is shady.
No. Do you think it's shady that a company that I worked for, my boss didn't even know what I made?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because I know they try to do it, but it's like, because they don't want the boss knowing, because the boss does directly impact your pay range. They do with the reviews and stuff. So I guess that's their way to be like, no, because then if they don't like you, they'll try to lowball you every time just to make sure you don't get more
That
money.
wouldn't matter. Because
Hey.
either way, they're gonna give you a low score anyway if they don't like
Yeah,
you.
they are.
So then whether they know your pay or not isn't gonna change that.
I think it's shady because there's a lot of companies where you'll be working, somebody will be under you and y'all paid the same, which is shady boots.
I
Shady
always
boots.
thought
It's because they want to be shady. Because
I've only worked for one company where my boss did not know how much I made. And I thought that was real odd. And I would tell people the only reason they could make that decision to not let your direct manager know how much you make is if there's a chance that you could make more than your direct manager.
it's shady.
And that was confirmed for me when I got promoted. One of the times I got promoted and I went to our leadership training, and HR rep actually told us, yes, there are some people that makes more than their managers here.
Crazy.
And I was
I
like,
burn that motherfucker down. I'm like, the person beneath me is making more money than me.
I
We need
was
to be
like,
trading duties then, because
yep, that's exactly what I thought. That is exactly what I thought.
that is shady.
Yeah.
That place was just shady, girl. They just need to be calling themselves Tree. They just like
Calling themselves Tree.
like the shade. When I tell you that company is shady for what they do, it's a very shady place. Very shady.
Here's another question that I wanted to pose. It's about work from home.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you think working remote full time, not that hybrid stuff,
Yeah.
but do you think working remote can hinder you?
Yes and no, because I will say I was at the store. I was at the store. I was at the laundromat, but all my stuff was done. Like I
See,
said,
that
all
ain't
my
even
deliverables were delivered. I was not just not doing my job.
and the,
Job was done.
and that's not even what I mean by hinder, because yeah, you choosing to go
I mean, it
out
makes people
when you should be at
comfortable.
work.
It makes people comfortable. I will say, because sometimes being in person, you get to see people and talk to them. It's more fire under your butt to go, okay.
Well, let me tell you what I was told.
What were you told?
So it was the year 2020.
When it all broke loose.
And it all broke loose. But the company I was working for had just sent us home because of lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
We were home from March and they opened up the new office and was like, okay, if you want to go back into the office, you can. That was around like June, late June, July. I was the only analyst to go back into the office. And I had a strategy because I knew everybody was going to choose not to go into the office. But I also knew every partner
Was gonna
was
be
going to
in
be
that
in
office.
the office. I said,
This my alone time with
why
them.
would I not go back into the office? This is my time to do some networking.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back into that office. I would work, which was actually pretty nice because I was in the apartment at the time and it was always loud because I had some ratchet neighbors. But I went back into the office, started chopping it up with dude that had no hair on top.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I get projects that nobody knows existed. I get lunches that nobody knows happening. And he actually told me. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with him on this. I'm not saying that it's right, but I know it happens. He said people cannot be upset when they are not considered when they are forgotten about when it comes to promotions if they chose to stay home and work. Because out of sight, out of mind is a thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying he right, but I ain't saying he wrong.
He's 100% right.
It's like I ain't saying he right. I ain't saying he's not wrong. Because I mean, it is true. It's like, okay, how
It
are you
is.
saying you want to get ahead and you at home hiding? I don't know you. I don't see you. You hitting your mark, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know you. I don't see you.
Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, that was my mentality.
That's why I'm here.
I knew I wanted to get promoted to manager. I knew me staying home would not help that. I needed to be in these people's faces. And within a year, what happened? I'm promoted. So I'm like, Yeah, there like I said, is it right? No.
But is it
But
wrong?
is it true?
That's all. But
Yes.
is it wrong? No.
But it doesn't mean it's impossible. I don't think working remote makes it impossible for people to get promotions and projects and stuff like that or be seen. I do think that it can make it harder
But I'm saying it
because of
depends
the out of
on
sight, out of
what
mind
people
thing.
get, and they want to be out of sight, out of mind. They want to be. They don't want to be. Like, they don't even want to cut the cameras on. Like, they just want to do the meetings in the dark. They don't even want to show their face, but then act surprised when they don't get promoted. I found that odd.
I told you I got promoted to senior analyst, and the hate that I received from people that chose to stay home. I was like, why are you mad at me because you didn't get promoted? If you had brought your ass in this off, and worst part about it was somebody that I actually used to talk to them at work, and I told them, I was like, hey, I think it'll be dope if like me and you, because both me and her were trying to get promoted to senior analyst, and I was like, I think you should come into the office because then we get more exposure to the people that actually has the ability to make that decision.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I don't want to be in the office.
Well, girl, don't be no
I was
hater
like,
when I get it then. I'll
live
let
your
you in
life.
on my plan. I didn't have to tell you shit. You ungrateful.
Cause here's my thing.
I'm like, I ain't have to tell you anything.
I get where she was coming from. She wanted it to just be based off her work. And I'm sorry.
It don't work like that way. It don't work that way.
I am humble enough to know that while my work is good, it might not be good enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I don't need to see none of these people. Now we did have somebody that worked there that his skill set was so good. He was an expert in what he did. Everybody went to him for all the questions. So I'm like,
Yeah,
he could go and work remote.
expert.
He could go home full time
But his
and still
reputation
move
was
up.
already established before he
Exactly.
went home. He wasn't trying to build it. It was already there.
He had
Yeah.
been there at least a year before I got there. So I'm like, he has built that reputation. They know he knows his stuff. I was like, these partners don't know who the hell I am. So why would I expect them to just be like, oh,
Yeah, that project she turned in, that's good. Let's promote
most of the
her.
time they don't even know what project I did.
Because they're high level. It ain't none of
Exactly.
their business.
Exactly.
They don't care.
So
Oh.
I was just like, people need to just
Mm.
be honest with themselves. That's my take on it. That's my take on it.
That
But
seems to
anyway,
be the gist of the whole thing.
anyway, I actually have something on another topic that I wanted to ask you a question on because
What's up?
I
What's up?
have
What are we
thoughts.
doing? What are we doing? What's up?
Have you ever heard of a B-roll friend?
The hell is a B-roll friend?
So
I know what a B-roll is, but what is a B-roll
it's a
friend?
B-roll, but your friend. So I was
Oh, that's
watching,
harsh. Okay.
right?
Mm.
Yeah, I was watching TikTok earlier,
Mm.
and it was captioned with you find out you're the B-roll friend. And I actually
Gosh.
had meant to show that to you, but I think I forgot to save the link. But
How humbling. But anyway.
it was a woman who was doing like a POV thing where she was
Yeah.
having lunch or brunch or something with a friend, or who she thought was like a A-list friend. And the friend is just like, oh yeah, I just had my birthday celebration and this person came and this person came, and she was like, oh, when was this? She was like, oh, it was last week. We went to this place. And she's like, the place that's down the street from my house. And then she started telling her about like other plans that she has coming up. And she's like, oh yeah, we're having a party this
Weird.
weekend. And then she was like, and this person's coming and this person's coming. And then she asked the girl, who was in charge of the invitation? She's like, oh yeah, we got those sent out last month. And she's like, oh, I think you might have forgot somebody. And she like pointed to herself. She's like, no, I'm super organized. I know exactly who's coming to this party. And the way, because the
Oh,
way I sat there and watched that
my
thing,
mouth would have been
and now
open. Just watching it, just
don't get me wrong. Now I know like she's doing a POV, so it's fictional, or maybe she's just doing a POV of her personal experiences. Who knows? But I said, now hold on. I said, I know Jay has her other friend group, and they do have like brunch and stuff like that. I said, but that's something that's between them. I was like, but if Jay was to come to me and be like, oh yeah, I had a birthday party last week, and I'd be, I'm
bitch,
like,
what?
Fuck out my house. Get out. Cause clearly we ain't cool. How you gonna have a birthday party for yourself and not invite me?
Because when you said B-roll friend, that's how I know where this is going, but I hope it isn't.
Girl, what would
I
you
would have slapped that. Oh, I'm highly bitch. Like, how dare you? How dare you?
that
Whew.
I couldn't.
Why I'm sitting here?
And then
Oh, I'm highly organized. I didn't forget you, bitch. You don't
you're just
matter.
not invited.
Why are you talking to her at all then?
Exactly.
Just leave her a bean. Just let her float around.
Leave her out her misery. Stop letting that girl think y'all actually best of buds and you
But
don't.
I know people do crazy shit
They
like
do.
that.
It's wild. That
If
is
you
what
hate me, say so.
that is what I call a one-sided friendship.
Baby, if that ain't the definition, you thinking that's your friend and you turns out you're
Girl.
just an acquaintance this whole time.
Cause now, like I said, like this, even let's say it wasn't even like a birthday party or something, but let's say you was just like, oh, I want to invite all my friends out to brunch.
And you don't
And
get
it
no
was
invite.
yours. And I didn't. Now the one you do with your other friend group, I'm like, that's cool. That's their thing. That's something they've been doing well before I came into the mix. But if you was just sitting on a random Sunday, it was like, oh, you know what? I want to do a nice brunch with everybody. And then you come to me talking about it like, oh yeah, I invited all my friends to go out to brunch with me. We had a good time.
You know,
I said, huh? So
what you mean all your friends?
So you want to fight me then?
I wasn't there. What you mean all your friends came? All your friends wasn't there. Was I busy? Did you think I was at work?
I would immediately pull my phone. I'd be like, I don't see where I missed that text.
Oh, because you didn't get one.
I'm like, well, then you can get your ass out my house.
Raggedy bitch. Delete my number, bitch. We not friends no more.
Forget I exist.
Just delete.
Just like you forgot I existed for that invite.
Forget
I exist in life. Like, how dare you?
People do it.
That's why I said so you want to fight me then because you must hate me.
People do it. I don't get it. Like, why do that to somebody? God, why do it?
It's oh my gosh.
How evil. How evil.
And I commented on that. I said, that has to hurt.
That will be the day that bitch died. Oh yeah. Especially the last line with, oh, I'm very organized.
I'm very organized. I know
that
exactly
you just like oh,
the way I would have to.
I will black out. Like I would, my eyes start twitching. Like, oh, okay. And
you just see my eyes go wide.
Like, okay.
You be like, is she okay?
I thought we was real, actual friends.
And that's why I brought it up because I'm like, I know this happens to people. I will tell you this. Now, I have been in my fair share of one-sided friendships. And don't get me wrong, I may have been the one that did the one-sided friendships. Personally, I don't think I did. But, you know.
Oh, girl that was crying in the corner, I think you did.
We were roommates.
Crying in the corner.
First of all.
Bless her heart.
I told y'all.
All her parts.
I told y'all I didn't know that she had a crush on that guy.
I thought that was her own fault while she was crying in the corner.
That was not a one-sided friendship situation. That was her not speaking up for herself and got her feelings hurt.
Oh, girl, that was
I can't do nothing about nothing I don't know nothing about. I will not take the blame for that. But I'm so over these one-sided friendships. I cannot stress how passionately I feel about that. And I think the closer people get to being done with those, the smaller they see their friend group is going to become.
Oh my goodness. But the B-roll friend,
to give it a name and actually call it the B-roll, I wish you would refer to me as a B-roll. Oh yeah, that's just my B-roll friend.
I don't have B-roll friends. You either my friend or you ain't. The thing is, you either a friend or you're an acquaintance. There is no B-roll friends.
Trip your ass.
I do more than trip your ass. Let me discover I'm a B-roll friend. Your life is ruined, and I make sure of it. So, ruined.
Make sure of it.
Thought we was friends.
Dare you call me a B-roll friend?
Life be ruined, I make sure of it. You'll be sitting there, shit happen, you go, Jade, bitch ass.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden I hear something hit my window. Yep, there's an egg. Must be Jade.
Jade. And I'm gonna wait this winter time. Good luck scraping it off, bitch.
Man, I'm telling you, you go on all our past videos and be like, I ain't friends with that bitch no more. Fuck her. Fuck Jocelyn. Just make time for it.
Girl, just throw a bitch on all the videos. Bitch. They like, get this girl.
Like, is it not enough that the show is already gone?
And I was gonna go back, bitch.
Give a fuck about your show. Fuck you in that show.
Fuck you in your show.
That's what your ass do. You'd act like everything is okay. You'd use your code to get in my house when you know I ain't here, and I come in this room, everything will be toppled over. I'm like,
except Zephyr. Yeah, she be alright.
You leave Zephyr alone, but I come in this room, that damn couch would be slashed, these mics would be on the floor, that camera would be knocked over. This
slash your light, I'd mess it all up.
I'd be like, fucking Jade. And then before you know it, you got a lawsuit because I done sued you for all this stuff. I sue my friends. They do something to me and we ain't friends no more.
And I'm gonna show up to court. What was that football player that show up to court looking raggedy as hell so he can get out paying child support?
I don't know. I ain't heard that.
Look it up. He showed up looking a fucking mess.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what I do. I show up, girl, looking crazy.
Girl.
Victor testify for
he sure would, because he ain't shit.
He ride or die.
Both of y'all ain't shit. He would know 100% you wrong. And then be like, I don't know what you're talking about. She ain't do nothing. Yep. She has been a model citizen towards this woman.
She's my ride or die.
Do you mean when she slashed my tires and I got it on camera, her waving the knife around, talking about, bitch, where you going now?
I would do some crazy shit in the camera.
You would, and you know you would.
With a bedazzled knife.
I'm like, come on now, Judge.
It wasn't me, and I pull a Shaggy. It wasn't me.
Craziness. Crazy talk. But anyway,
I couldn't call yourself not being my friend. You won't find out.
I couldn't take somebody, even if they don't flat out say it, I couldn't take somebody doing me like that.
Like I said, I was like, the way I would have blacked out and beat that bitch ass saying that mess. Oh, I'm highly organized. All of my friends got something. I'm like,
I got your number, bitch. I take my friendship seriously. If I ever, now I ain't saying I gotta be the most important person in the group, but dog, I thought I would at least be in top 15.
Gosh, girl, you higher than 15.
No, I'm just talking about in general.
Gracious.
But I don't know how many friends you got.
I don't got that many friends.
We've had this discussion before. Well, to me, you got a hell of a lot of them.
But the thing is, there's layers. There's like 1-star friends. There's acquaintances.
So a 1-star friend to me is the equivalent of a B-roll friend.
Because I don't make them feel like they're more included than what they are. I don't do people like that. Like, I don't make you feel like when we talking individually that you mean so much to me, and then when it comes time for a group project, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't do that to people.
See, maybe I'm just different because
I don't do that.
I don't have layers to my friends like that. I don't have 1-star, 2-star, whatever star.
It's that damn show got me saying star.
Yeah, I know.
You know what it is.
Good show. Y'all should watch it. Long ass episodes, but if you can take it, you should watch it. I don't have that. Either we friends or we not.
But we all friends.
And I'm gonna treat you the same way. I'm gonna treat all my friends the same way.
No, I don't do that.
Now, wait, let me actually change that. I have close friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Those my 3-star friends.
well, I have close friend. Let me make that singular. But
Oh, you got more than one.
yeah, I would say I have at least 2.
Cause I'm like, girl, quit being shady.
I wasn't being shady.
I don't know the who, but you.
I wasn't intending to be
I'm
shady.
like, you got more than one close friend.
That's debatable though sometimes. Because I would say you're my close friend, but there's things that I would say to you that I wouldn't say to nobody else.
Well, yeah, because we close friends.
Exactly. And that's what I consider the criteria to be my close friends. If there is something that I can say to you that I can't say to nobody else, you're a close friend.
Because you know what I
But if
said
I
to
have to
KP.
censor myself around you, we
You
might
just
be
a friend.
friends, but we're not close friends.
I know she ain't watching anyway. But you.
And I consider her to be a close friend as well. That's why I said at most I have 2.
Because there's only very few people I will say anything to.
Girl, that one thing you said to me that day,
And you told people.
it will go down in history as one of the best things I've ever heard. And I'm so sad we can't say it on this podcast.
And you telling people. And they telling people.
I never tell the public though.
Okay, I'll take that. I don't know about the other.
Look, if we ever get known enough that circulates back to you, I don't know what you're talking about. Prove it.
Prove
I
it,
said
bitch.
it. Prove I said it.
Because I didn't.
Sure didn't.
And I'm lucky. And I wasn't dumb enough to put it on the internet.
Because why would you?
I
Girl,
would
because if
never.
you was dumb enough
Oh,
to
I
put,
get dragged. Dragged.
you wouldn't be on this show with me.
Dragged for filth.
I'd be like, you too risky.
Dragged for filth. Is what I would be.
I'd be like, you too risky. You can't be on here with me. You be just saying out of pocket stuff.
But I always say I'm witty. So I
You are
always
witty.
say out of pocket
You're way
shit.
more wittier. You're wittier than I am. People think I'm witty. I don't think I'm that witty.
You are. You crack me up.
Occasionally, I'll have a good
When I
one.
tell you crack me up,
That'd be my face.
I be having such a good laugh. My girl, I don't know why you think you ain't that funny, because you are hilarious to me.
I don't think I'm funny.
Girl,
I think I just be honest.
I laugh every time I talk to you.
You silly.
I do.
I laugh every time I talk. I would hope as friends that we do. It would be such a terrible friendship if every time we saw each other wasn't a single laugh.
I could stay at home for that.
Right? Ew.
Sure could have.
I mean, I actually thought about that though. We don't really talk about like deep stuff.
We do occasionally.
Occasionally, you know what we ain't had in a long time?
What?
Remember we used to have our little therapy sessions?
Girl, when we both discover we are very scarred and we need actual therapy instead of each other.
Good times.
We ain't had the time for that no more. We need to do that.
We sure do. Yeah, that was back when you used to actually come over here at least once a week to watch K-dramas. And we just spent some time just talking about, do you know what this MF did?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we done unburied it all now.
I think we have.
I think that's what it is.
I think we just don't have any.
We done already said it. You know my traumas.
It is what it is.
I know your traumas.
Girl.
We ain't resolved them, but
I mean, they ain't resolved.
We know they exist.
They there. And I think that's the first step. Recognizing them. I know trauma back there behind me.
It ain't in the front though.
Hey, as long as
it's a shadow in the back.
And we all got them. But as long as trauma stay behind me, I'm not looking back anyway. Well, I've been back there already. I don't need to see what's back there.
So joyful because we both have very crazy shit. Like I don't know how we so joyful.
You should see the look on people's faces.
When I talk about my childhood, girl, it's so I'm like,
when I tell people that that I actually jumped out of a window to escape a fire, they'd be like, "What?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was like a freshman in high school. Yeah,
I didn't break nothing. It's all right.
You know, just hurt my toe a little bit, but you know,
hurt my toe."
But I'm like, but yeah, you know, we ain't had no place to, you know, we stayed with family for like a year or so.
They eventually rebuilt it.
Yeah, I was like, but they were remodeling.
Convenient.
People be looking like, you are. Have you talked to a therapist about this? Like, kinda. Yeah.
See what chat say.
No, because I'm not. No, I will
You
not.
know what? You want to know the real reason I don't get deep with chat?
It's weird.
I got a login. It knows who I am.
Oh, wouldn't it be terrible if ChatGPT is what got you put in jail?
That's why I said it knows who I am. Now, if I did not have a login, baby, I'll be telling it everything. But since I have a login, I'm a registered user of
Me and
said
Chat
chat.
be
No, me and chat are gonna keep it real light, real cute, real airy. Me and chat gonna keep it real professional.
me and Chat be arguing now.
Well, you know, the more you use it, the more it becomes like you. It mimics itself to be
Well,
more
then
like
I'm a
you.
lazy bitch.
What you mean?
Because Chat is pissing me off. It ain't doing its job, and I'm about to fire it.
What you mean? What it ain't doing?
So it's been for the last like month now, and it was doing great with this. Everybody knows I use ChatGPT to come up with titles and descriptions for our episodes and our shorts and TikToks
It's
and reels
free.
and stuff. Now, whenever I will put transcripts for all of our shorts into ChatGPT, and I will tell it to give me social media descriptions, and I will make sure I tell it these descriptions need to be fully SEO optimized. They need to have good key phrases or high performing, low competition key phrases and keywords. And I tell you, here's our website, here's all the information you need to create this damn description. Chat GPT keep coming back with like 5 sentences. I said, that is not a full length description.
That's a summary. Now get it together.
And then they'll go, you are correct. Thanks. That's a good catch. And then it'll give me a little longer, and I'll stop it while it's in the middle of typing it out. It'll get TikTok done, and then it'll start on Facebook, and I'll just press stop. And last week it pissed me off so bad because I'm like, I'm tired of this. So I said, that is not long enough. I'm so tired of telling you every week that you are not providing me what I'm asking for.
What it say? What it say? What it say?
I even cussed. I said, that shit is not right.
What it say? What it say?
And you know what? Its response pisses me off more.
What it say?
Because it's all
Love
polite
chat.
and everything.
Because it's chat.
Yeah, you're correct. Thank you for calling that out. Then
you know what? Chat is
right.
being a passive aggressive manager. You know how you present problems to the motherfuckers? They
tell
always so polite, but they don't do shit.
Let me tell you what I told Chat, because
Oh.
Chat GPT has the ability to take instructions. So like you can create project folders for it. And for each project, you can put instructions on what it should follow for every response that it gives you for that project. So I have 3 for Chat GPT. One is a girl's perspective. Another one is Sweet Art Fluid, which is my art studio. And then the third one is podcast growth diaries. So Sweet Art Fluid and podcast growth diaries don't have any instructions in there because I don't really fuck with them like that right now anyway. But a girl's perspective has instructions. All titles should be like this. All descriptions should be like this. Here's what we're about. Here's our target audience. Here's all this stuff. And I also have in there, none of your responses to me should be put in a table for me to download. Give me my responses in the fucking window. If I want it in a PDF or something, I'll tell you to export it as a PDF. I asked this thing something and it gave me a fucking table.
You're like, bitch.
I responded with, fuck this table.
You really arguing with fucking Chat. Chat gonna start cussing back at your ass. You keep on. Chat gonna get sick of you.
I'm sick of Chat.
Look, Chat doing a lot for free.
And one of those things is pissing me off. I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Chat.
No, you ain't.
It's pissing me off.
You gonna say goodbye probably for the podcast and Chat, but you ain't gonna let go of Chat.
Why you think I'm trying to find a social media manager?
You ain't gonna go on no damn chat.
Yes, I go back to the free version.
I love the free version. It give me what I need.
I'm like, I don't know what.
How much is it?
It's only $21
a month.
Mm-hmm.
What does it do that makes it worth $21?
You could just use it to store more data, and you can ask it. Well, I don't know. Maybe you haven't reached that point, but on a daily basis, I was hitting the limit on how many prompts you can prompt chat with.
Oh, I don't use it that much to do all that.
Well, remember at that time I was doing the art studio. You can only put like 3 pictures in there a day, and I was doing all that art. So I was constantly I was using it to come up with names for the art and stuff like that. And then when we started doing the podcast, now I'm adding stuff for the podcast in there. I could never get stuff done because I would have to wait 24 hours before I could use it again. I'm like, I got shit I need to do. So yeah, that's why I did it. But yeah, it's really starting to really piss me off now. And I'm like,
chat is fucking with you at this point.
It is. And it's really starting to piss me off.
Chat is becoming like you. See, I told you. It knows you petty. And now it's being petty back because chat is picking up on your shit.
Well, I cut chat off.
Chat will be lackadaisical with me. Like, we'll get to it. Bitch, I said give me my shit now.
Well, then it's mimicking you because you are that way.
That's what I'm saying. It will do that.
You wouldn't give a damn how quickly I wanted something.
Yeah, but chat don't know me because it only know me professionally. I only talk to it to help me with my rubrics and these gazillion papers I have to write all the fucking time.
But Jade, we literally talked about how you didn't want to do some paper just because the teacher asked you to redo something, and you took your sweet damn time to do that paper.
I sure did. As a chat gonna become petty because I'm petty.
We both are petty, but yeah,
I'm a calmer petty. I ain't gonna be good. Still petty. I'm a calmer petty.
I got some issues, and yes, I can get a bit angry sometimes.
Not you cussing at the damn chat. It ain't even a person.
I don't give a damn. It's doing a job.
For $21.99.
$21.99 $39 a month. I don't care.
Do it right, chat.
I'm like, you have all the instructions right there.
It said F you and your instructions.
Pretty much. So I said F them tables.
I said no table.
No goddamn table. Stop giving me the goddamn tables. And then it says, oh, you're right. Here's an updated version without the tables. Bitch. Yeah.
I want the tables. I just said I want to download the goddamn tables.
But I want to see the results first.
I'm like,
because if I download this and it ain't even something I want, I'm gonna be mad I downloaded it. Giving me everything in the fucking table. Stupid ass ChatGPT pissing me off.
It's learning.
Apparently it's forgetting. Because like I said,
it got a lot to remember, Jocelyn.
It is fucking AI.
Hey.
It's supposed to be limitless on what it can remember.
You know good and well that ain't true.
Machine learning is always learning.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be forgetting.
It didn't say it can't forget. It says always learning.
It shouldn't be forgetting.
I'm telling you, it does not say it can't forget. It says it's always learning.
No F's given.
I think it's adapting is what it's doing.
Which should be scary.
No one
and
watched
people trust
Nobody watched iRobot.
And people are trusting it with their mental health.
I'm gonna forever bring it up.
When the robots take over, they gonna use those same traumas that people are going to it asking for help with and use it straight against them.
iRobot. Every time people talk about AI, I'm gonna say iRobot. Watch it.
Oh, they ain't gonna like this episode. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because we keep coming for the people that use ChatGPT for therapy. But I don't agree with it. I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, I feel like it's just I feel like it can manipulate people, and it will manipulate people based on coming to it being very vulnerable like that. I would not do. It's not in your best interest to do so.
I do not see a problem with using ChatGPT to find reputable therapists for whatever your issues are.
And
I don't see an issue for that.
You can use it like that.
Yeah. But actually downloading all your traumas to chat and telling it, help me through this. What?
Don't do that.
People do it.
Don't do it.
Every time we talk about, because this isn't the first time we've talked about people using ChatGPT for therapy.
Because they keep doing it.
Every time we talk about this, people come into the comments talking about I use it for ChatGPT. Well, therapy is expensive. Who said it wasn't?
We didn't say it wasn't.
No one said therapy isn't expensive, but
we didn't say it wasn't worth it.
That you can do if you want therapy. Like we said last week, the EAP program. Get that, use their little 10.
Like 99% of companies have some version of it.
Yep. There are options that is not ChatGPT. You just have to put the work in and actually go find them. But
chat's always watching.
Chat is always watching. Chat is always listening. But chat don't follow fucking instructions. And then the other thing it does, it gets the dates wrong.
Oh, does it?
So I told this MFer to give me the suggested order that we should post our shorts in. And I said, and include the date that they will be posted. The first one was supposed to post on like a Tuesday the 15th. Let's say it was this past Tuesday, which was what, the 23rd, 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this on the 20th, and I say the first one will post on Tuesday. ChatGPT comes back to me with the first short that should post and said this will post on July 24th, Tuesday.
That's not Tuesday.
I said, chat, what's today's date? It says today is the 20th, Sunday. I said, then how the hell is Tuesday the 24th? Oh, you're right.
Chat fucking with you, I'm telling you. Chat is fucking with
I ain't tell you, speaking of fucking with me, I think there's a ghost in here.
Who you think it is?
I don't know who the fuck it is, but it needs to just sit on the couch and watch TV.
What it be doing?
I will be sitting on my couch, right?
Yeah.
And I swear to you, my Xbox, all of a sudden I hear it power on. One day, the thing where you put the disc in came out.
Unplugging to see what happens.
I was like, did that? I said, now I've been hearing it power on because I can hear it when it comes on.
Yeah, that psh.
Yeah. I had been hearing that for like weeks. And I was just like, I really don't give a fuck. Because I've said before, I don't care if there's a ghost in my house. Sit down, pull up a chair, watch TV. I don't care. Be here. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, a lot of them like to fuck with you, though.
But that day that dang on disc thing came out, I said, oh, so now you
want
attention.
Bold. You want attention.
You getting bold. I was like, look, I'm trying to be nice. Because I don't give a... I'm here. And you ain't been here the whole time.
First of all, I know you ain't pissing off no spirit that inviting me to your goddamn house. I know you ain't in here talking crazy to the spirit.
I ain't talking crazy to no spirit.
You making ultimatums at the spirit. You don't know how long the spirit been here.
This spirit ain't been here this whole time because I've had that Xbox since I've been here.
So you think the spirit is new?
I think it's new. And it probably came with your ass.
Nuh-uh.
You the one that believe in all that shit.
The spirits, I feel them. They don't bother me. Besides the ones growing up. Those were wild. Those were crazy. Those were full-blown ghosts. Them weren't even just spirits no more.
I was I said, okay. So now, and Dance Central was in there. So I politely just went to the thing, took Dance Central out, put it back in its case.
Unplug it to see what happened.
I keep telling myself to do that, but I keep forgetting.
Girl, unplug it.
But I was like,
if it come on again, just be like,
can you leave?
Can you quietly be here?
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind a ghost being here. I don't. But just leave me alone. Enjoy your afterlife. Pull up a chair. We can watch all kinds of stuff together. But just leave me alone.
Interesting.
So
who it is.
Yeah, that's been
We ain't gonna
happening.
try to talk to her though. We don't do that.
No, I
We
ain't getting no Ouija board.
No,
I'm
I
not
don't do that.
saying nobody name in no mirror 5 times. I'm not doing none of the
No,
stuff.
we gonna guess who it is. We not gonna try to
What
actually
I'll do
summon
is have
it.
Nate come over here and look for it, because Nate, he likes to do that ghost hunting stuff. He used to be a part of a crew that did that. He used to go to haunted like
that
hospitals and
crazy
stuff.
girl I used to work with at the other job did that.
I don't want to go mess around
They
with no
pay
spirits,
money
none of that stuff.
to bullshit around in abandoned places. That's what they do.
Because if they do exist, they can latch on to you
and follow you around forever.
But anywho, that's a good stopping point. We at an hour and a half.
Spirits,
leave me alone.
Go.
But yeah, somehow my Xbox keeps turning on by itself.
We unplugged it as soon as we get out of here. We unplugged it.
And only one time, this thing ejected on its own. I'm like, and me and Zephyr were sitting on the couch, and we were the only two here. So I'm like,
unplug it, see what happens. If
y'all think I got a ghost in my house?
Yep. I'm gonna name him Frederick.
And if I was a spirit, that would piss me off.
Why?
Name me no damn Frederick. The fuck? Think I was born in 1862? Yeah. You an idiot. You are ignorant. Talking about some And what if it's a woman?
Frederica.
Shut up, Joe. Anywho, hopefully y'all enjoyed this whole thing. We love y'all for sticking with us. Yeah, make sure you do all the stuff. The like, comment, subscribe, share on YouTube. Actually share from whatever you're watching or listening to this from, because there's always the option to share.
On all of them.
Sharing is caring, from what I'm told.
Care Bears.
I'm the youngest, so I don't believe in that.
You said see how you just say shit.
Which ain't even true. I share a lot, actually.
You just say shit.
I do just
to say it.
Just to say shit. Just to get a rise. Anyway, but yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, engage, please, please, please. And on the audio platforms, please make sure that you are commenting, rate us, review us. I think we got a couple more reviews on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Thank you.
I should check on places like iHeartRadio, Amazon,
I
Audible.
low-key forget about iHeartRadio.
I think everybody forgets about iHeartRadio now.
I low-key forget about it.
Yeah. I need to check them too, because we might have gotten some ratings on there too. I haven't checked. But yeah, if you guys would like to see or listen to us, well, actually see, I guess you could listen to on Patreon. If there's content that you would like us to do on Patreon, please let us know. We are considering starting up a Patreon. Yeah. We were thinking to do reaction stuff. That'd because I did do a post on YouTube asking people if they would watch that, if they would like that kind of content. Now, granted, we only got one vote, but it was a yes.
So hey.
So if we can get more people to let us know what you suggest. If you would like to see some reaction stuff, if we do reaction stuff, that will be on Patreon as a paid subscription, because it's not gonna go on YouTube, because we ain't got time to be getting copywritten by people. Everybody. We're reacting to stuff. So that would be exclusively on Patreon. You would get our real-time reactions to the whatnots. But yeah, like I said, on the audio platforms, make sure you rate us, review us, comment, share those episodes as well. If you're on any of our socials, please engage there as well. We are very active on social media. Yeah. Well, not our personal pages. We are podcast. We're gonna try to get better with that, but we're not active on our personal pages. But on the podcast socials, we are very active. We post daily there, and we do respond to most comments.
The nice ones.
Yeah, I mean, even those, most of them. Sometimes, especially if it takes off, like the one that got over 200,000 views, we can't keep up.
We'll heart
it, but we can't keep up with the comments. But yeah, make sure you're sharing there, commenting, liking it, thumbs up in it, whatever that platform is. And until next time,
bye, friends.